Tether is now officially announced to be backed only by 74%, implementing sort of fractional reserve in crypto. Also, there is a United States income tax payers can now get refunds in Bitcoin on a federal level, which is really cool. You can find another interesting thing about the commercial from Grayscale Investments. They basically about to run the ad on the linear cable and business news networks next week's promoting Bitcoin versus gold, and it's actually made in a very nice way with the best tradition of the commercial ads and like a lot of flashy and catchy stuff, which probably will make a lot of people interested in what is Bitcoin and why it is important to invest in this cryptocurrency assets. But we are going to talk about the price because, again, as you know, people say, show me the charts and I will tell you the news. And yesterday I didn't talk about stochastic and stochastic RSI, which actually very important, and in my opinion they complement the technical picture a lot. But the important thing that we need to pay attention on different time frames, for example, like here on 4 hours chart, you see that both stochastic and stochastic RSI in a very oversold territory. And we are similarly going to the downside when the price should go at least a little of correction. But at the same time, for example, like this area was also very oversold, the price actually went a little bit higher. So it's not necessarily we will go that low. So it's better to look at the daily chart. And by the way, here, if you remember, we had this price having higher highs. And then if you look at the RSI, we had lower highs. So very similar thing with the stochastic and stochastic RSI when we have the decreased highs for both of them. So again, before the drop, we have this bearish divergence. But currently, we are pretty much corrected to the area from where the price can start to go up again. And these two candles actually show that we are ready to go up. So probably this level like 5,600, which is on Bitstamp on Coinbase, would match the new peak of stochastic RSI from where we could at least have a little of correction. And if you'll go to weekly time frame, then the situation is again opposite. So it's actually oversold again comparing to the daily time frame. Moreover, the stochastic RSI is oversold for a very long time from middle of March. But also, if you'll zoom out, you will see that both oscillators were in a very low area for a while during the bear market. So in fact, we can actually stay pretty much high for both of them, having little corrections during the price going upwards, but at the same time having a very little decrease in the oscillator values. And this would be even easier to see if you look at the monthly time frame, which actually shows a very clear picture for the previous bear market in 2015, especially for stochastic RSI. You see this was the area when the price went down from the all-time high. We stayed here in the bear market and accumulation period, and then something like 6 months after the bottom, we saw the rise of the indicator value, and then for a while it was in a super bull territory. And then again, bear market, accumulation phase, final drop, accumulation phase, and now it's actually even more convincing than before, so we don't have this correction. It goes straight up to the neutral zone, and then within a couple of months, maybe several months, we would see this potentially going to the same area, so drawing something like this, which would pretty much mean that the price will follow the new uptrend with maybe little corrections, but still it will be rather confident move to the upside. And the stochastic pretty much has the similar pattern. So we have the drop, and actually previous time we were in even lower position for stochastic oscillator, and now it's going upwards in a very strong manner. So again, a lot of people are expecting the price to go to the new low, like at least below $3,000, maybe at least test this level. But guys, despite you can't eliminate this possibility, you can't say that it's impossible to happen, but looking at the history, it is really unlikely that we'll see something like that. It's just the major market cycles which are driven by the sentiment, and a lot of people are supporting the trend as soon as it happens. So this is the obvious bullish trend, and a lot of people are going long instead of going short. Although, of course, the cryptocurrency is the manipulative market, and we still have a lot of issues with that point. And I was going to show you also the Fibonacci retracements for the rise which we had recently, if you actually make the retracement from the point when we had the biggest drop at something like $6,000 to the lowest point of 3,150, then you would see that currently we are in the channel which matches 78.6 and 61.8% for Fibonacci retracements. So you may expect, again, if you remember that we had this stochastic oscillator pointing out that we probably will have the rise up to 5,600, then it's really likely that we'll test this again with a small pullback because it's a strong level in Fibonacci as well. But using Fibonacci, you should remember that drawing it in this way actually implies that the price will make tests of those levels and go lower after that. So it's retracement after the drop. However, this is not always true, and we may have a reversal on the way up to those retracements. So practically what you would like to do is you may look at the opposite retracement, so you can draw it from the bottom to the top which we had, and then it's actually pretty nice match again, because, well, again, for these few levels it's really close. So you may expect the price going low to this point, like $5,000, and it's actually a round level which it would be reasonable to see the price to go there, and this one as well, but this is a bit more radical. It could go there, but I wouldn't bet on that. And in fact, I wouldn't recommend to short Bitcoin and any of those levels. It's really risky because it still look bullish. Of course, guys, everything which I say is my personal opinion, not a financial advice. What I was going to show you today as well is the Binance coin chart on 4 hours time frame. You remember, maybe we were looking at this chart, comparing it with the behavior of stochastic oscillator when we had the dips and the lows of stochastic. It's very nice match for the price action and stochastic through the whole period of the rise, at least recent rise of Binance. And last time the high point was something like $25. We had stochastic at the top. It would be reasonable to sell, so I hope a lot of you guys did that. And then we had the low around here, and stochastic was low at the price was like $21. So again, pretty much reasonable to sell here, and again stochastic RSI, similar patterns. But now we are going sideways, and similar to this picture, you see it's actually a lot of resemblance between the two. So probably it would be reasonable to wait until stochastic will go to the new high and the price will have a new local high as well, higher than $25. Of course, if the Binance coin will continue to make this rally and will not go to the major correction, which doesn't seem to be happening right now. And those support lines may be used as guides to show whether we are still in the same trend. So by using this correlation, you may get like 10 to 20% in every week or two, which doesn't seem that bad in my opinion. And another thing, the last thing which I was going to show you today is the ZIL, which was requested by some of the subscribers on my channel. And you probably know that ZIL is one of the first, if not the very first coin which proposed the implementation of sharding technique, which pretty much the blockchain divided in different parts, which could have consensus separately, and then in that way you may increase the TPS pretty much to infinity. And in that way, since ZIL was initially proposing the sharding mechanism to be implemented in their blockchain, probably their blockchain is more adapted to use it and it's easy to use, so they're having one of the best technologies in this way. And I think in end of January they actually launched the mainnet, so they did a lot of the development of their code and they're actually doing pretty well. So now the price is trading within this channel, and in fact we're very close to the bottom of this channel. I don't think that it's unreasonable to buy the coin as many of the other altcoins as I mentioned before in previous videos. And again, stochastic RSI are pretty low, so you may expect the reversal at least to the top of this channel, and you can set a very tight stop order a little bit below this channel, so you would not be damaged if the price will decide to have a dip because of, for example, Bitcoin price will go lower or something like that. In general, long-term investment, I think it's really nice. Of course, guys, as usual, not a financial advice. And that is it for today. I hope it was useful. Thank you for watching.